I do my thing. Got a bowl, take a hit, I'm free. Saving up an eighth for the end of the week. Sunday night, I'm feeling right, never sober, stay high. Sugar, spice, and everything nice. Time I show up, top line, never come down. Never come down.
Rolling with the Rolling Stoner. What's going on, everybody?
Yep.
You know what it is, man. Yo, Francisco Phoenix back. Man, we have our Thanksgiving special. Yo, hey, happy Thanksgiving to everybody.
Happy Turkey Day.
Happy Thanksgiving, y'all. Yeah. Anything y'all happy for? Let's start this off real quick. Can we introduce everybody in the building? You know what I'm saying? Who we got in the house? You know what I mean tonight? What's good? Go ahead.
Cheers.
And say what you thankful for.
I'm thankful for this blunt I'm finna roll. You feel me?
And then who we got over there next to you?
Peace, coffee here.
Hey, what's going on? What you thankful for?
I'm thankful for the peace that I'm holding on this day of gluttony and bigotry.
Break it down.
Facts.
What's our next? Who we got over here?
Kenny.
What's going on, Kenny? Man, what you thankful for, bro?
Thankful for this right here. All of us come together.
Hell yeah.
I just had a great meal with everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, man. Thank you, Kenny, for having us and everything. My man, what's good, bro?
How you doing? Emmett?
Yeah. What you thankful for, Emmett?
I'm thankful for us being here. I'm thankful for this new year. It's been a fun year. It's been a fun ride, and I'm thankful for the ability to have a new year to do it again.
That's what's
Yeah,
up.
that's what's up. Yeah.
Word to your mother.
And now we back on the other side. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna go ahead and start down there. Yeah. Go ahead, introduce yourself.
I'm Tony.
What's up, Tony?
How you doing?
What's up, yo? Hey, what are you thankful for, though?
Well, like someone asked me earlier, I'm thankful for life. Just being here and being able to meet all different kinds of people
Hey.
everywhere.
Yeah, that's what's up. Yeah.
That's me.
Loving it. What's going on?
I'm Isha,
Isha.
and I am thankful for having the opportunity to be able to be in people's lives like you guys, just dope people that do creative things and inspire the people around them that'll hopefully exponentially change somebody else's life.
Stop.
Hey, big, hey now. You know. I've been smoking, you know.
My man, go ahead and introduce yourself. Let the people know.
It's Sonny. If any of the people that I owe money to watching it's Lavelle.
Jesus paid it off.
It's the Lord.
Tell him Jesus paid it off.
Just grateful for my health, man. Just grateful for, being able to check on people.
Yeah.
So I'm good.
That's what's up, man. Hell yeah, man. Thank you for being here, bro. Yeah. Introduce
I'm Ronnie
yourself.
great, young in the
Yeah.
game, you feel me? I'm thankful for making wonderful music with wonderful people, and I'm thankful just to be here in this situation.
Thank you.
Nah, for real, man. Thank you all for being here, man. So, tonight's gonna be a little different, you know what I'm saying? It's the Thanksgiving special, here in the house full of like dope individuals, man. So, we just gonna chop it up, and you already know what I'm doing right now. Rolling up, getting ready. You know what I'm saying? How about that meal though, everybody? Like, what's up?
Yay. Young Tony.
Thank you, Miss Crawford, for making a lot of this meal.
Indeed.
Oh, thank
Thank
you.
God for elastic pants.
Yeah, thank you, Miss Jules, for making a lot of this meal.
Yo, man.
Bless the
Thank you for
hands.
having me.
Thank you for all our guests.
Stuff in, all I'm saying though,
I'm
is
glad
like,
y'all
I want
full
that
and
recipe,
enjoy
like, real
them
talk.
yams though, Isha.
I'm about to say the yams though, like,
Honey,
Y'all weren't ready.
I wasn't ready. She blessed them.
She
She
was
put her
learned.
big toe in there.
She was learned. She was taught.
I need to learn to do. Okay, because
I'm
I
down.
tried and it was a fail. Let me learn to do with
It's
you.
a simple process. It
You
took no
gotta
time.
I'm trying to get to some of that
Learn,
simplicity.
but
you
I don't
put
have
your
to,
big toe in
it
that right
ain't,
there.
it ain't no
You
cup of
sugar
this,
mama.
cup of that. It's just
She sugar mama with that shit. She
it
sugar
is. It's
mama
just
with that
kind of a
shit.
little.
She sugar mama with that shit. On Jesus.
Yeah, but I love to teach everybody anything I got. Knowledge is power.
I'm trying to roll in. But not like what y'all like? What is y'all favorite aspect about like Thanksgiving? You know what I'm saying?
Kinfolk.
Kinfolk.
Smoking weed with the kinfolk. Before you eat, everybody just creep off to the side.
That's the thing I miss.
Like that's the best
the head
part.
nod and shit like.
Just a head nod, and it's like y'all don't even gotta know each other, but y'all part of the family for this little celebration. You know what I'm saying?
I like being off work.
You know?
Yeah, okay.
I don't go to that bitch.
All the time in the house.
But that holiday pay be cool too. Like,
Okay.
you know.
She about to go right now.
Bless your heart. On a full stomach.
Are you guys all from out here or what's up? Is everybody from a different
We all from here.
I'm from Pittsburgh, man.
Pittsburgh?
Inglewood, California.
We all
Used
from
to.
here. She from Glendale. He from
Oh, no,
Mesa.
you didn't.
I'm from H-Town, man. Fofo, Houston, Texas.
Okay, hey now.
Vegas home.
Yeah, that's it.
Straight up, J-Dog.
That's it.
I heard we
I
got Compton.
yeah.
Garden
So,
City.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm in
Real
Dago,
talk.
baby.
Dago, baby.
San Diego,
Definitely
baby.
use a Dago baby.
That's the bricks.
There's
right
San
there.
Diego and
Garden
there's
City bricks.
Dago.
I'm a Dago, baby.
I didn't even know what that meant. but I
That's
knew
my
you were
city.
from.
We live right there.
I'm from the wood,
I'm from the
though.
wood.
All of the bricks.
New Orleans.
Right there, 249.
Yeah.
From the wood, though. Inglewood.
Real talk, 249.
I do got a question though, cause like earlier that shit was pretty funny. I ain't gonna lie. Sonny was attempting to put on R. Kelly
Do
for
you
the
mind?
holidays. You know what I'm saying? Like,
How you really feel?
I wouldn't mind.
Go in the showers and everything.
you know what I'm saying? Look,
Wow.
what is the appropriate like type of music for the holidays? Especially like if you know you got
If
like
he
elder,
canceled, who else do you listen
you know what I'm
to?
saying? Well,
we the ones-
no, I'm saying like you got elder like people like right now it's
Like
you know,
Chris Brown
everybody
Holiday.
our age and shit. But like when you have like your aunties,
Mariah
like you know
Carey.
your grandma and
Temptations.
everything. What you- Temptation.
Mariah Carey.
That's what they're gonna do.
Whitney.
They not,
Kick
they
it on.
not-
They
they
You know
not-
what I'm saying? Some of that Lenny Williams.
They
You know what I'm
not,
saying?
they not cooking no
Oh,
more.
Lenny, where Lenny
We play the
at?
music.
You got that brother when y'all
People
came
ain't cooking
in.
no more. We play the music.
We play the music anyway, dog. It don't even matter, bro.
Yeah, they can't hear the shit half the time.
Half the time.
That's fucked up, yo.
Or remember,
And the
y'all
other
know my
half,
granny
they
was
just
sipping
hear
it
what they
with
want
that
to hear out
house.
of it.
Man.
All people infamous for that shit.
Man, and then they utilize that shit to their benefit.
And
They
they
be
be like,
like,
what was that little tune?
I didn't hear you. You know I can't hear, but heard every damn thing you done said about
Preach.
such and such.
They done heard the mess.
Preach.
You gonna lie when you want to, huh?
Does anybody got like that relative that, you know, should have been gave up on that shit, but they keep sliding out, like, you know what I'm saying, with you, like,
You talking about
Yeah.
weed?
Yeah.
on weed or whatever.
Whatever
the fuck-
that issue
whatever
is.
the function is, you know what I'm saying?
Everybody has that
Motherfuckers
relative.
still sliding out there, it's like, yo, come on.
I got one.
Damn well.
Shit, I'm getting up there. I'm about to be that.
I'm disabled from the veteran situation, so
No,
you know,
no.
I
Where'd
love
you get that
CBD.
color?
It. I'll make it clear.
I got
Iridescence, I love iridescence. I'm sorry.
I got one uncle. He a crackhead, so every year he come up with new excuses to not show up.
Oh, man.
And now,
He called me every year to say, "What you gonna tell him? Tell him he's sick."
You sick of this crack, man?
It's a shame. He upgraded to meth, but he should be on that crack.
Upgrade to
upgrade.
meth.
upgrade.
But he should be on the
I
crack.
didn't even know the hierarchy
You
like that.
upgraded to
Nah,
that.
meth
That's
is
also
like
one of the levels.
Y'all think meth is
You know what? I
cheaper than
think
drugs?
heroin
Meth
is
is
up
not
He
us.
upgraded them.
Nobody wants to try that shit.
He doing better than he was, but it ain't.
He doing better than what he was.
I'm just saying,
You
you back
tried
on the crack.
to die was unsuccessful.
Bruh.
Black people should not be on meth.
Nah, meth is not.
I don't think I know
Bruh. He be
anybody.
trying to real fast.
I don't think it's a human drug.
It's literally household appliances. I heard.
It's like bleach and Drano
Yeah.
I don't know how to make
and
it,
battery
but
acid. Like
not-
I'll try anything once, but
it's-
damn, that's
But
much.
damn.
Say the recipe again.
I won't.
Say that.
Let's sing, bro.
Okay, let's make some money.
I heard something, but
Dude, I'm not gonna be. Oh my gosh, you are killing me.
Real quick though,
Right?
I'm
We're
about
not
to,
trying to damn thing. Got a goddamn thing. We ain't trying shit. Trying
Turn
to
into the
hear.
wrong podcast. man.
That's what we trying. Not that blunt.
I gotta say my mantra though before we spark up, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, we about to go ahead and get it popping. Hey, do your thing, you know what I'm saying? I love it. Anyway, we intake this smoke not to abuse, but to heal the body, elevate the mind, uplift and enlighten the soul and spirit, gut, mind, and heart. So yeah, man. Thank y'all though for coming. Like, you know what I mean? Thank you for inviting me. Like, you know, here to have the awesome dinner. You know what I'm saying? Around awesome people and shit. What's good with the cars though, man? I see you shuffling this shit.
Who in with
like
some
that.
space though?
What's like the holiday game though? What's the game?
Dominoes.
Spades.
Dominoes.
Uno.
Crazy domino.
Dominoes, yeah.
I don't know how to play dominoes.
You play
No,
Pokemon.
no, oh, dominoes is my my shit, but like
Speed.
Spades, I ain't gonna lie. I
Who
ain't
say
that
speed?
good.
Me.
I'm really good
I'm
at
a-
spades.
Speed
I
is
will
so cute.
walk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was about to play speed by myself.
Take it back to speed, huh?
Go
Yeah,
fish.
man.
Go. Okay. War, nigga. Battle. War.
21.
Have y'all heard
Go
of the game
fish, nigga.
Spoons?
I ain't got it. Go fish.
Have you guys heard of the game Spoons?
Oh yeah, big
Yeah.
spoon.
No.
Anything pong, liquor pong, beer pong, drink pong,
Oh, you know.
the
Oh,
pong,
no, we played
anything
those
pong.
every-
is
I
a
got
great
micro
cup.
mini pongs.
I got some of those too. They're so cute.
Yeah.
It's a great cup.
Wait, talk about, are we down there?
pass around cards.
We can play some
That's
liquor
what I'm
pong.
saying,
I'm
we
down
got-
for liquor
but there's-
pong.
I got see their shot glass sizes. I put water in there because I'm a little bit of a health freak, and
And
I
then
am.
some of them can have shots.
If you want, it's a pour your own shot as you go because I ain't about
A
the
rummy
ball
type
falling
card
in,
game
and I gotta drink
with
it.
a challenging and exciting
I'll drink out of
twist.
this.
So is it
For your shot if you fall in.
Mine knows
That'll
the
work.
Isha knows the ins and outs.
Oh, yeah, that's
how many
my shit.
people, how many people grew up on Phase 10? I ain't never heard.
What?
I didn't grow up on it, but I mollywop your ass.
I didn't grow up.
Hey.
You on my team.
I didn't get it yet. I've heard of it.
You
You
on
don't
my
have to
team.
grow up on it to hear of it,
I
right?
ain't never heard that shit though.
I've heard of
Phase
it.
10 is
Phase
live.
10
It's a mind game. It's a strategy game. You got to think about how to get to the best run or phase or suit quickly and with the least amount of
Okay,
points.
so it's not like Uno at all.
Not at all.
Nah.
It's just colorful.
I seen like
It's
something
just colorful.
on the side say like made with Uno.
Made by them, by
Yeah,
Mattel
yeah.
or some bullshit, but
Okay. Where the ashtray is though, you know what I'm saying?
bro.
I grew up on like Peter Pan songs, Jim Rummy.
Gin Rummy, Gin Rummy is just like Phase 10. If you know Gin Rummy, if you know Gin Rummy,
Yeah.
Phase 10 will come beautifully, naturally. Yeah, wet that and put that in there.
Wet it.
That you know it's got to be wet first,
We don't do it.
or not. Just
You gotta wet
just
it.
go right on dry.
You know what I'm saying?
You should put it wet so that it don't potentially have a
Yeah,
Fire.
Thank you. Yeah.
Spark your
That's
eye
your
in the
eye.
desert. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sha-na-na.
But nah, man.
fake something.
So like, are you guys? I mean, I know majority of you guys here are artists and everything. Do you guys feel like marijuana like affects like you know what I mean your day to day like
Stimulate your mind.
performance? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Definitely the stew, man.
Stimulate your mind, man.
That shit fuck you up. These I'm wearing a junkie.
Son, you don't
Stimulate your
I
mind,
don't smoke
man.
no more now.
3 weeks strong.
3 weeks strong, baby.
Nah, but his non-smoking around all of us is inspirational.
Yeah, it's
though.
really
Real
cool.
shit. Sonny is
Real
showing
shit.
like all time.
He's still getting high
fucking
though.
everything. Cause
Yeah,
like, come
Sonny
on.
is.
Nah, he
doing me
like, but
dirty.
he cooler than
Doing
the
me
fan.
dirty.
Like, that's some real cool
Baby.
shit. That's temptation for that ass. Ain't no temptation. He's king of the shit. You know what I'm saying?
Bullshit.
Sonny is the pressure.
Bullshit.
So what's the question? What's the
This way,
question?
my bad. I'm fucking up.
Yeah, be right back.
So what's the
Like,
question?
Fuck it up.
Huh?
It's okay.
What's the
I got
question?
something to say.
Do you feel like marijuana like affects-
Inhibits?
Yeah.
I think it's,
Does it affect your performance negatively or positively?
I don't think weed.
because it's like
Yeah, I don't-
it is individual.
It's,
Like,
yeah, I
so-
don't think weed itself is a bad thing. I think people with low self-esteem shouldn't smoke because it's not about what you're doing; it's about how you're doing it.
Yeah.
And if you're doing it as like a way of life, you're not really getting the benefit of it.
Yeah.
Some people smoke because it is the benefit of their day, but some people smoke just to eat, to sleep, to talk,
Yeah.
to communicate,
To walk.
Yeah,
And you can't. Then you ain't getting the high. You just avoiding life
Yeah.
at some point.
But like same thing.
I think it influences creativity because it sparks a certain part in the brain. I think it's the hippocampus. I'm not sure, but it sparks that creativity so that it jolts and aligns with different parts of your actual brain. So the synapses line up. So you're just literally able to create.
Yeah.
So if I'm gonna do anything with music, I always feel like I need to either have something as far as the CBD or the THC to just fill up my synapses.
I believe
Totally.
I believe
It helps
CBD is
tap-
something
it
completely different.
helps
Though.
tap into
Yeah,
it.
I believe
I agree with that. It is something
Yes, sir.
That the
And it
world
also
needs to see.
depends on
That's
what you
all.
What
smoke.
is this?
Like indica and like sativa, like that's like saying you going out just to party. Like if you smoke an indica, you gonna be slumped, like
Yeah.
and like not focused into it. But if you smoke a sativa,
It's
you gonna be
stimulating.
more like
Yeah.
more into it because it's like a brain high. It gets
Yeah.
you
Don't
happy,
smoke Reggie.
more
Yeah.
energetic.
Don't smoke
I
that.
feel
No
that.
stress.
Say
We not
Reggie.
I
stressed.
think-
Christmas tree.
I think
Ain't
a
nobody
lot.
got life that bad.
I don't think
Ain't getting that bad.
A lot of it has to do too with your intention. I realized when I was younger, just being so exposed to it and that being such a healing way, it almost seemed like a hood ritual. You know, that's ritual. That's like, you know, it's ritual. Yeah. And for a lot of people, ritual does have a lot to do with the spirit or, you know, religiousness or whatever, however you would apply it. But when you shift your intention, I think it, like she was saying, it also recalibrates yourself to like directly align with that creativity spark or being aligned within yourself. So before, you know, smoking, it's almost like when you roll, that's the ritual part of it, right? Don't you enjoy when you're rolling?
I don't roll.
I love breaking it down. I love taking my time.
You know, it's like it's therapeutic in some forms, you know. But the reason why I asked that is like because like you know weed still has it. Even though, like, you know, there's a lot of dispensaries and it's, like, you know, being revolutionized now, but it still has the stigma of being, like, you know, kind of a hindrance. You know what I'm saying? Say that, you know what I mean?
I think, like frowned upon.
But we have all these other forms of drugs or ways to, like, you know, kind of get by through the day. Like whether it is pharmaceutical drugs, whether it is coffee, whether it is like
5 hour energies or
5 hour energies, you know,
bangs and whatnot.
But like you know, what I mean, when we talk about weed though, it's like automatically we be like, oh yeah, it fucks up our like day, like you know what I'm saying, May, like you know.
But I think that's
the person in general though. I believe that the type of person. I'm sorry, my love. I believe that the type of person is that type of person, no matter if you're smoking or if you're sober or whatever. If you're a lazy shit dog motherfucker, you just gonna sit there and it's gonna amplify who you are.
Exactly.
Because I swear, when I used to work, come home and there'd be a joint or something roll for me. I get that smoke, get in the shower. Man, I swear, me and God be in there kicking it, and I done wrote like a whole book and an album, like in a 15-20 minute shower. I'm like, what? But on a normal day, sitting and just trying to force creativity, it's just kind of like.
I think a lot of people made a lot of good points, and like you said, like it is like I said first, low self-esteem, just a person. I think, like you said, it does boost creativity, but being creative myself, what if your creativity is a form of depression or negativity? What are you running into something you just like as a dopamine? And then I think also, it's good for creativity, but what about when you're around your kids? What about when you at your job? What about when you with your lover and using it as a stimuli instead of something to really feel them? Like a lot of times we forget when we put it in our day-to-day life and habits. That's why I say like most people who smoke weed ain't smoking it just to go to sleep. Like I know people who do smoke it just to go to sleep, and a lot of people, like I said, it's a hood ritual. It's not like I say a lot of people we could use as something, right? And I do think while there are laws in place to, you know, can get people in trouble and things like that, maybe it shouldn't be such a thing we do as like a ritual. I think if it is something, it should be something you go to sleep to, something you read a book to, something you just handle your business to. But like,
I think the ritual needs to be adjusted. You know
exactly. Intentional.
We and tied to something.
We talked earlier about people who, you know, they come over Thanksgiving, they come over your family, they just want to light the blunt in front of your grandma. That's still part of the ritual. But you know what I mean?
Crazy.
They just they think that's normal. They, you know, it's just
that's a thing.
Let's just like
I didn't know that was a thing.
You got reckless people out here.
Let's just like you know, let's
characters, clowns.
I think
that's a thing
so
though.
beneficial though. Like name one thing, name something, name one freaking like non-benefit of smoking weed.
So I think it
like it was like okay, I get it might make some people just like lazy or whatever, don't want to do shit or whatever. But you got shit out there where you can take for a headache. The headache be gone, but I'm just shit for like a week or something. You know, like I'm gonna lose my colon or something. That's a side effect.
I'm gonna be
give it a headache, and then you might have a heart attack later on that night. What the fuck kind of shit is that?
I'm a person who believes in natural healings and organic. I'm a person who believes in natural healings and organic things over anything. I don't care if you're dying of cancer. You better go trust your grandma before you go trust the doctor.
You like that clove, didn't you?
Yeah, exactly. I'm a person who you trust something natural. I'm not just saying like weed is bad and not comparing it to anything else out there. I think a lot of minorities and black people specifically rely on other things to help them than themselves.
Exactly.
And that's the excuse
like, all right, so now that's kind of going into my point.
Change the stigma.
It's like
change the stigma.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Where do we start to change
because you say like you know, and especially when you brought like black and brown, like you know that's our thing. That's a human thing that I'm realizing, or I would say, you know what I mean? It's my opinion. It's not only in our culture, like. Humans find some reason to, you know, kind of like get away from the stress of life. You know what I mean? So it's like,
Bars, pub.
why is marijuana, why is weed, cannabis, like, you know, stigmatized that much when we have
I think it's only the
research of like pharmaceutical drugs?
But then
No,
you
like,
have people that will literally, you have people that don't smoke
So
and will
like-
come home from a hard day at work and have a glass of wine.
It's
And
Exactly.
people
It's
that,
the
and then they'll do it and they'll be like, oh, I'm going to have a glass of wine. And no, I'm not running from the thing, but I've had a hard day, or
It's
it's
the
just been a long day,
pushback.
or I just want to have
I think it's about which weed itself being a social drug.
Exactly.
But it's the
It
pushback.
lacks
Most-
intention.
Most people do not smoke alone. Like, I'm not trying to make an excuse for it.
That's
I
true.
understand. I smoke my whole life. Like, I just quit. I'm new to this. You know, quitting even. I know how it's done. There's no excuse like, oh, we just smoking the blunt by myself, going to sleep in the shower. No.
Yeah, I
You
only
going
started
to-
smoking after a fucking Marine fell on my back and fucked up my back, my shoulder, my knee.
Wait.
So that's
So-
What fell on your back?
A Marine. I was in the military.
Oh, an actual Marine.
Like, pain is
A
different.
grown man about
I'm
his
like,
size.
I'm sorry, I thought it was like some type of animal. I'm like, what was you?
No.
Yeah, you think so?
I would say
So-
even that is like a natural form.
Because I had never
I wouldn't say
smoked.
weed is bad.
Like my whole life, I was like always like against it. I was like, bro, I was always like with my brother, like, bro, why are you just sitting there smoking? Like, do something. But my brother's a lazy motherfucker. But he's smart as hell, but he's lazy as fuck. That's just him characteristically. Before he started smoking.
Knowledge right there. That's like chronic knowledge.
I'm just saying, I'm telling you, I get these synapses, they start firing.
But I mean,
So
also
don't-
started
so-
getting shit, especially like after my car accident, I started smoking weed heavier because it was like, okay, I got fractured ribs, I got a fractured collarbone.
That pain is real,
Everything
bro.
was pulled out. My face was all fucked up, and I was like, you know what?
I ain't about no
I'm finna go and
Percocets.
get me a whole bunch of weed because I'm not finna take no pain pills. You
Yeah.
got me twisted,
Exactly.
and I
That
don't
shit
want
be having me like this.
like slump. Like I'm not even
Wow.
functional. I'm not functional, so I smoke a blunt, and I feel way better.
But let me ask you this. I think that can be natural healing, but like I said, it's a tent. Do you continue to smoke after the pain?
No,
You
when
continue
I'm in
smoking
Shit,
most-
when is the pain after?
Or what?
Okay.
What's your approach when you
That's
come
it.
to it?
And then here's the thing though, but I do try different things opposed to just being like, as soon as I get in pain, be like, oh, I'm
I
gonna
don't
go
have
smoke.
it after the
I get in
pain.
pain, be like, oh, it hurts. I make a little freestyle about it hurting. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna tap my feet. I do like this.
But I don't have
type
it
shit.
after
You
the
know?
I don't think there's nothing wrong with weed. I think it's just the laws placed.
It's just like alcohol, like alcohol
It's just
was.
a way to generate money.
It's
That's all.
right.
And that's-
It's a way to get
Big
more
pharma
money
making
into the
money, and it's
system.
not a
If
stigma.
you have
That's all
if you have remnants, if you have this in your pocket and they stop you, pull you over, and they
Same
find that,
crime.
it's the same fucking
Same
crime.
crime. If
It
you
ain't
smoked it,
even
then-
gotta be yours. But the thing is now they're gonna get you on. Okay, now they didn't stop you. You gotta go to court. You got court fees.
That's
You
what
gotta
I'm
go.
saying. That's what I mean. The
That's
ritual, the
crazy.
intent,
That's
the
all.
social smoking. Like
Absolutely.
They're gonna
I'm
smoke
good.
weed, they're gonna
All
take
that-
it
all
home.
that should be
They're gonna
gone.
share with their friends and they're gonna
Go for
smoke
your
it.
home.
I smoke whatever the fuck
That
I
last
want
part
to.
though, they gonna
But
go.
I
That's
understand.
my concern.
Alright, yo, we
But-
got
Damn, nigga, how you gonna wrestle for my shit? Can you leave things alone?
everybody like,
Order,
they own
order.
conversation, just like, yo, hey,
Order.
Hold on, like, this is
Order.
what I'm saying.
May I make a point to close that up?
No, yeah.
So, Isha, would you say that in your exposure, your coming into exploring marijuana, was that, more of a healing intention? Like, I'm going to work with this. This is going to be a tool that I also align myself with, not just expecting it to fix me or to heal me, but this is something that I'm going to align with that can also ease my journey or become some
I
type
wish
of
I was that eloquent. However, I had just had surgery on this hand. It was 2011. They had given me Percocets or Vicodin. They had me. Those things make me throw up. They make me feel nauseous. I don't like it. So one of my girlfriends was just like, "Hey, let me roll you a blunt. Let me show you how to smoke it, and sit here on the couch and see what happens." I was feeling amazing. Like I was just like, I was up, ready, like helping to cook and shit. And I was just like, bro, I was over there a minute ago like a little bitch, crying, holding my shit like this, pitied, like, after the fucking pain dosage. You feel me?
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, so I gotta take this bullshit, risk not being able to go shit, and then have to deal with the pain still lingering. What's
Yeah.
the benefit?
So Ramir said it's a gateway drug. So would you not say that gateway is also what led you to believe that I can utilize this as a tool for my creativity? It can
Hell
spark
yeah.
and help align me.
It
just
did.
depends on the
It did
individual.
become
Intention,
apparent.
yeah.
Exactly.
It did
That's
become
what I'm saying.
apparent when people started letting like telling me about it. Like, oh, when you do that, it's like, okay.
I think that's part of the ritual too. You smoke, somebody gonna tell you the type of weed you. They're gonna tell you how much you weigh. They're gonna tell you what they do to you. They're gonna tell you how long it's
and half the time they lying.
They
Yeah, because everybody different. Everybody different.
I don't think that because like that's not just a weed thing. Like that's a
sales thing.
Sales, like,
it's a marketing thing.
People really do be knowing what it is.
Yeah, of course.
If I get it, you get it from me.
That's still tying into sales.
You're gonna
you gotta know your product.
I have a grower, but I don't do any of this shit.
You know the picture of product. You're supposed to know what it is that you're selling. Exactly. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Especially if you purchase it from an authorized vendor, grower.
Just kind of, I guess, wrap up that.
I think
topic,
people,
you know what I'm saying?
I think people just be careful. I don't think there's nothing wrong with it. I think people should just they behind it and moderation and how you do.
Oh yeah, I barely smoke. I smoke eighth in a month and a half.
In the ancient culture, cannabis has been like it's been used all throughout history. It's been used like even though they don't really talk about it in our American history, but like cannabis has been used throughout the world, like for the longest. So it's like we know it is some beneficial, like healing. Like we know it was like utilized to kind of trap a certain people type shit. But like ain't nothing wrong with weed, and we all know it. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's the person. It really is the individual. You know what I'm saying? So
negative comments and
the individual. You know what I'm saying? I just wanted to propose questions.
Yeah. Well, for the record, let E Nash say it, and he would definitely say that weed is definitely what spinach is to Popeye, but for me.
Oh, that is. That's straight up. Yeah, hey, shout out to E Nash, man, because that's some real shit, bro. But yeah, like, let's. I want to get on another topic because, like, I really want to get y'all opinions on this. Shows, performances, live entertainment.
Go.
In the city, or like, I guess, like, upcoming artists. What can upcoming artists work on, like, at their performances that would make you want to come to their show? Promotions?
I would say like promos. People. You say like you got people that's like doing things for you that help you like get your like attraction. Like people shouting you out, or you got other people. It's all through the internet.
Yeah.
So it's like the more people that's going through the internet for you, it's like they're gonna want to come because you're making stuff interesting. Mm-hmm. So it's like now you're booming. Like,
but what are you doing to make it interesting?
Just doing it. Just
what is gonna make you come to your show?
Is the question getting them to come, or is the question like what is for you see from the performance that makes you want to come?
I don't know.
All right. So
why would you come to my show?
Well, look, you have upcoming artists. Damn near every day. You got a flyer from an artist you don't know. You say upcoming, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, the person that's
this
passing
could be it could be the next J. Cole, my nigga. It really could be.
Audience interaction.
But it's like,
so the question
this is his first time, like, you know what I mean? Like, what is it? So the question is, what is it that a new artist have to do that would keep you interested, or like get you interested to come to their show?
Just come. Like, I haven't seen it before, but come. Yes. To me, it's more about like personal relations. Like, if you're not willing to meet me as a fan, of course I might hear your music online before I meet you. So if I say something about it, why don't you want to link up if we in the same city? If you one of the people like, oh, I'm too busy. Well, I'm too busy to be at the show.
Or listen to your music.
Or the person handing the flyers out, like the personal relationship with the middleman. Or
exactly.
The
you gotta promote it. Make sure you're a person.
And they know what the fuck they talking about.
They foot runners and they're not shooting you bullshit while you talking to
just throw it on your car.
Like, let's get one point at a time. I'm sorry, because we just got the one mic. My bad.
You want?
I think the newcomer.
I think it's about like personal relations for me. Like,
no, that's
like to me, like live music isn't really like interesting because, like you say, it's so much quantity over quality anyway. Like, I don't plan to be like wooed or like swayed by the show 9 times out of 10. But I'm interested in like very go-getting people who take risks. The artist, if the artist is out there himself promoting himself, I'm more inclined to go see him than a middleman or promoter. It's like, oh, I'm doing something. You could be trash. I don't even care. You're confident enough to come to somebody and talk to him and tell him you're doing something. So why wouldn't I invest in that? Because if I did the same thing, I would want the same thing.
Okay.
I said personal relation. Like, I think people like copy this generic form of promotion, and it becomes uninnovative. It's not even creative. Like, just say your name, say something random about you, talk about the weather, ask me a question, do anything. But people just follow me on social media, and that was one of the reasons I deleted social media. People can't even get to me because they don't know how to talk without an app.
Like, what were you going to say, Tony?
He mentioned something about. He mentioned something about like you're interested in like the go-getter or whatever versus someone who like has a promoter or whatever. And I think, my personal opinion, you know, sometimes people they may not haven't tapped into that go-getter type thing or whatever. So they need that person, you know, to help them. Look, you know.
Spice them up.
Yeah, you know, talk them up a little bit or whatever, and this and the third. It's not always necessarily that they can't speak for themselves. They don't know how just yet. You know, it gotta.
I think it's still part of business though. Like, if you don't got it, I'm not willing not to come to your show. I think more, even if you got a promoter, which is cool, that person need to be speaking on you like you are the person.
Well,
but a lot of times,
you know. I'm sorry, Kimmy. I really want to know your opinion on, like, you know, as a spectator, like, you know what I'm saying. What would you want to see? Like,
someone on the outside. I'm not really a performer myself, but like if someone comes up to me on the street, like when I'm going into Fry's, like, hey, here's my demo, like I'm all the time, but it's like they have to do that in order to get their name.
They gotta start somewhere.
But yeah, they have to start somewhere. But I think like a strong like social media presence is good. Being like multi-platform, getting like if they do performances, even if people don't show up, still make it a good performance. Get it videotaped, get it up on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, just so you still get it out there. Yeah. So people who may not have been able to come can still see it, be like, oh, that was actually pretty dope. I'm gonna go see him next time.
Yeah.
Okay. I got a question. So, like, let's say, okay, it's not a question, but more of a statement. Yeah. So, new artists, I think they're all in the same boat. Their hustles are just different. Mm-hmm. Just because you're on the corner every Saturday, whatever, and I'm on the corner 5 days a week. But if they have that same, they both will have that same passion when they get up on stage, right? If you're passionate about it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, like, performance is definitely the key, like, you know what I mean? But it's like, some people don't even get a chance to, like, you know what I mean, show out for, like, a lot of people. Like,
some people get down.
Some people don't have that personality, like, what's her name? Damn, I can't think of her.
Summer Walker?
Summer Walker. She just, like, you know what I mean, had that, like, she was like, I don't really, like, you know, like, hugging people, like, type shit. Some people don't have that, like, you know, natural, like, yo, hey.
Yeah, that's
hey, what's up? You know what I'm saying? Like, some people just like, nah, actually, I'm just.
I don't know. That's okay.
It's the artist.
But that's okay, right? And that's fine. But when I see that new artist on the stage, I mean, the first thing that come out of your mouth will determine if I'm coming to your next show.
Okay.
Like you're like all newcomers, like I said, are the same.
But the impression,
your
the
hustle,
first impression. That's
right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's
like everybody have a different hustle, and I respect that.
Yeah.
But
so do you think?
Go for it. I'm sorry.
So do you think that it would matter upon the impression, like if it's?
I think completely. I do. Personally.
But let's say as long as they made an impression. What happens if you made an impression? You're like, later on, I'm thinking.
But that's
thank you, coffee. I
good
love
that impression right
there.
Thank you. It's different for everyone.
Yeah, that's right.
That impression
exactly
won't have
a bad
impression. We won't have the same
impression.
It's gonna linger. If we talking about me, like, what you saying? What you trying to get out?
Yeah,
you know, what do you want the world to see?
Yeah.
You know, like, and I don't like bullshit. Don't come with all that would or whatever. But if you talking about something, thinking about something.
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead, baby. Go ahead.
Because I love what Coffee said. To Coffee's point, there's been so many times I've had the worst first impression. Like, you know what I mean?
And then they turn out to be
like,
a gem.
it was awful. You know what I'm saying? It's like, but, like, you know, me just being persistent, like, you know what I mean? Like, just
Absolutely.
Alright, I'm gonna win you over, though. You know what I'm saying? I know I fucked up that time, but, like, I'm gonna fucking win you over. There's something like that I'm gonna do that you gonna, like, you know.
But even
that's just like having a.
It's like, it is having like more of a, you know, stronger will and everything, I guess.
It's that confidence come back after rejection.
Yeah.
Think about performing and they guarantee 100 people in the seats, and by the time you actually get on stage, it's one person in the seat. But do you give it your all? Yes, you should. Or does your energy get demeaned or diminished because you feel diminished within yourself because these people didn't wait for you and you woe is me. So now you don't have that first impression that you could have because we don't know how to just keep pushing on.
Even if they did show up.
Now that's going into
so
actual.
Big.
That's going into performance though. That's going into actual presenting. Like,
okay, so the actual, like, not the keeping them.
That's not the actual like promoting side.
To get them
like,
there in the first part.
Like intriguing people, like, you know what I mean.
But even before that though,
I don't even know if I used the word right, but
no, I got you saying. Wanting them to be there in the first, or wanting to be there in the first place based off of your connection with the promoter.
Even before your performance though, you can. I think Jules, you started to bring it up. You can be really engaging and persistent with the individuals that you're hoping to come out. And so I think not just necessarily putting on social media, but engaging with people on social media. So like I think you do a good job when people comment back. You know what I mean? Maybe you comment on other people.
Comment on everyone.
Exactly. And so you're building these relationships, and so eventually your web is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And so they're not just seeing you and say, "Oh, you look pretty," or "You sound good. That's why I want to come." You're like, "Oh, I feel like this person's family at this point." And then when you go, at the end of the day, talent is going to win out. You know what I mean?
If I can say something real quick though, I think that a lot of days, and I don't mean like, I'm gonna just say this before I even say what I'm gonna say. Shine, by all means. You gotta believe you're the shit before anybody else is gonna believe
that's
it.
Step one.
But wait, here's the thing though. A lot of upcoming artists, they'll come at you with such an ego and such arrogance, where it's like, motherfucker, I ain't even never heard of you. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, I don't even want to engage because it's like, it's too much.
I think arrogant.
See, you know what? And things like that, I think that's what helps. Oh, not helps. I think that enables people to not come out.
Yeah.
For sure.
But it depends.
You understand what I'm saying? Because
and I'm not trying to be a hater. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want people to be like engaging with me, obviously. But
It's
too much. Too much is too much.
Can I make a point?
Yeah.
And like what I ultimately says again is still the stance I'm standing on. One, like you said clearly, you got to believe in yourself for anybody else believe in you. Even if somebody tell you no. Like, first of all, you got to get out there and get your own face out there. Regardless of what you're saying, people can say no. A lot of times I think it doesn't matter what you do. It doesn't matter what you're selling. You have to believe in what you're doing.
Exactly.
A homeless person can be asking me for change. I can say no at first, and if he cuts me out in a second, he'll never get that change. But if he'd be like, all right, that's good, man. How's your day? Have a good day. You might get that change. You didn't take that rejection negatively. Exactly. And then not only is it like 50 Cent said this in his book, The 50th Law of Power. A lot of times confidence is confused as arrogance. And a lot of times people believe confidence is loud. So the people who do come at you with a lot of ego, they think that's confidence when it's really is arrogance. And then people who have confidence are very silent about it.
Yes.
Me, I'm powerful. I don't have to speak to you. My talent can speak for itself.
Right.
The people around me who
Right.
I've helped can speak for me.
Great.
That's confidence.
Great.
And like I say, a lot of artists don't actually have, like, I don't think being an artist is about what you heard or a cliche metaphor of getting on. It's about studying yourself and what that looks like to you. So a lot of times, if you're following another person's path, if you're following J. Cole, Kendrick, you won't be them because you don't know who you are to do that. To do that. And a lot
Teach them, man.
That's what I think. A lot of times when it comes to like doing a show or pitting on, like, you gotta be rejected. Your own friends gonna doubt you. The people around you might not. Your biggest fan might be a Mexican kid in another country.
Right.
You might have to go to him, sell your T-shirt, do a show over there before you do one in your hometown. Boosie said that most people get killed in their own cities before somewhere else. So the places you want, you will get rejected the most. If you can't handle it, you're not ready for the world.
Right.
So a lot of times that confidence is built up through failures. Success is not, you're not gonna make it thinking you're gonna
off the bat.
But to feed off of you, I think it's very interesting what you say. Now, what happens? I have an example. There's an artist here in the Valley who left an
artist down here in the Valley, and I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say that,
but no, like I had to really observe this individual. I said, you know what? Oh, wow, hold on. What was that that just happened? You know what I mean? And I really had to sit there and observe this individual. And after a while, I had to recognize that's not ego. You know what I mean? There's talent. There's intent. If there's intent and talent there, what am I really seeing? Is it really just my reflection of this arrogance because I'm unable to do that thing that he does? You know what I mean? J-Wop did that to me. When I first met J-Wop was being himself, and I said, he reminds me of somebody. Let me watch him. And watching well enough, I said, oh, wow, I need to check myself. You know what I mean? And I absolutely love J-Wop. He has intention, the way, even with that last song, when we heard that, and he jumped on there, and it was like, pow. You know what I mean? Every single time I feel like I'm around J-Wop, it's intentional. When he speaks, when he's spitting, he's not going to open his mouth unless he really has something to say. And that's how I personally feel. And that's why I'm going to go to J-Wop's show, being an artist or not being an artist.
And me just hearing that, I don't even know who she's talking about, but me just hearing that makes me want to see what this dude is about. And that's just me personally. You might feel like, I don't like all that arrogant shit like that. Like, she may not get that.
But it be people that like,
everybody. As a person who's seen him perform, I'm like, I get it. You know, there's certain people that
two different spectrums.
But it's like certain artists, even here in Phoenix, like it's this artist like Nutter Butter. Like I collect stickers, right? And
Nutter
he came,
Tut.
yeah, Nutter Tutter. Yeah,
You said butter.
I said Nutter Butter. My bad. Shout out to Nutter Tutter. But he's hard as shit though, and I watched him before. But the way he jumped out, like I was like at first Friday, right? I'm searching for fucking stickers. He jumps out with a sticker. He's like, bam, here's my sticker. Bam, here's my business card. Bam, here's my other sticker. And then. This is my crew right here. This our card too, and I'm like, okay, okay, you came hard, like it was, but it was good. And then it was like, he was like, yeah, I was like, so you from around here? He was like, nah, but listen, I'm about to take the stage right now. And at first I'm like, I'm gonna keep walking. It's like 100-some degrees outside. We in Phoenix, but then he got on stage and I was like, bam, here's the sticker. Bam, wait, what the fuck is that? Oh, hey, wait a minute, let me go see what she's doing. Like, so I put a sticker on this big ass poster in my house, and people come over and they're like, what is that? And I'm like, yo, this is dude in Phoenix, and I tell them the story. So it's like certain artists like that where it's like, yeah, he came super fucking hard, but it was smooth. No, it was like so smooth because it was just like, hey,
he wasn't waiting on your response.
No,
he knew what he had to do.
He just came and got my attention, and that was that.
When I was at alright, so I had a show. I opened up for Lil TJ, and I was just waiting. I was late for the show or whatever, but these two girls they had came up to me or whatever. They was cool or whatever, and we was just talking, and then they gave me a Four Loko. I was like, nah, like, I'm cool. I gotta perform. She was like, you perform? I'm like, yeah. Boom. So she was in the line and shit. I walked right past her and shit. She saw me on stage and shit. I'm trying to go on the stage and shit. I pop out with some smooth stuff like boom. She's like, oh, we chilling, and then we just rocking that show. And then she sent me the next day. I just see like just videos of me performing. She added me and shit. I was like, I don't even know. So
she like liked the shit and actually took videos of your performances.
Yeah, so it's like, and to this day,
you got a fan right now.
Music.
It's that personalism.
It's all about the approach.
And to chime in on what everybody's saying about these artists, like that to me is more important than promoting somebody one time in public. From that, forever your sticker be in your house. Forever you'll talk about J-Wop. Forever the girls gonna come out and put your videos up. Like you building a team of people who actually support you. And that's for life, instead of asking for support one time to come to a show. And like a lot of times what I do, even for my conference or my like method, is like a lot of times I will neglect my friends, my actual people I'm around, to create a new fan. So if we hanging out, that time we got over when I'm meeting somebody new. And if you really my friend, you gonna understand it don't matter what time we got or shared because we had that time before. We're gonna have that time again. And I'm trying to create that with other people. So a lot of people around me, it is contagious what I do. Like, a lot of people around me, they start off introverts. They give me all these excuses, fuck people, fuck the world, I'm smoke blunts, all this. I get it. Now you see these people on social media talking, people traveling, going to state to state, doing more than I am, honestly, and still look up to me. And I'm like, well, I ain't scared to get my heart broke. I'm scared to trust, but I got to do it to get it. I got to give it to myself. You know what I mean? And, like, I think music itself for artistry is such a healing process. Like, it's not about the music. It's not about who's the hardest. It's not about... You see who develops as the best man or the best woman doing this. Like, there's some people who preach the most positive shit but live the most filthy lives. And then never have a support system. They have people in rotation in and out. Exactly. Then you have people like, the people around them are hard on them. Strict on the things people around them are telling them, nobody else will. But you see them saying 4 or 5 people around them every time. Like, that's so much more important. And I tell you a lot of times, your dreams start with you being consistent, believing in yourself. Yes. You might have to do it every day with nobody around to really start getting supporters. A lot of people give up on themselves before people can even give in to believe in them. And that's what I see more happen than anything. That's the most consistent thing I see with artists. You're going to give up on yourself before somebody has a chance to believe in you.
So based off of your primary question, do you think it matters whether or not an artist is introvert or extrovert? Because my own personal beliefs, I believe that a lot of artists are introverted. They only come out to express themselves. And then as we spoke about Summer Walker earlier, right? I haven't read up on it. I'm one of those artists who is just horrible at being online. My online presence is horrible.
Well, it was like more so like she like after performing, she really like didn't really want to like. It's some certain fans like just would approach her like.
They have these expectations.
And she did not like that shit. She made a whole public announcement about it.
So she like like I love fans and everything, but like
Don't touch me.
I love fans.
But you
like,
don't have to want to be touched by a stranger, and I feel like that shouldn't be looked down upon. Can I just add to that? Like people always say like, oh, like they clown her, and I will like I'm a comment fiend. Like I won't even really be on social media, but I'll like see something and then go to the comments and be like, let me find out what's really going on. And people be really on her head about this, but I have to think about something. In this day and age, people are constantly preaching about unsolicited touching, right? Like you don't know me. I don't know you from a can of paint. Don't fucking touch me, right? And but then people are clowning her like, oh, you don't want to be touched. It's your fan. So what? People can be. I'm a fan of you. I'm a fan of you. I'm a fan of everyone at this fucking table because you are wonderful people. But that does not mean that I can just walk up to you like, yo, let me touch you. Like, no, don't fucking touch me. You know what I'm saying? So I think that it's just crazy how people react to people like, oh, being standoffish. But then
let me say this. Do you think? I'm sorry.
No, I think that society has put this retarded ass idea about like people cannot be themselves. But they want to be touched. Don't touch it.
Yeah.
But you still gonna buy our music though. Like if you understand what I'm saying? This is what she's supposed to be doing. If she reached at least one person, that's what the fuck she was supposed to be doing. At that particular time, at that particular moment, that person got something from it. She don't have to be touched.
Exactly.
And y'all are making good points.
Why is that an issue?
I think it's a difference between being an introvert and being an empath. I don't think there's nothing wrong with being an introvert, but I don't think you should be doing a career that's a public figure form if you're an empath. If you're one of the people who say I like people but I don't fuck with people, don't do it.
I have to object, my friend, because when we break down, I totally understand that concept. But when you think about it, at our natural form, the way that we are supposed to be vibrating as human beings, we are all naturally empaths. However, we are consuming things here in our bodies. We're consuming all this BS. I think it's a really interesting game to go and look at your friend's Instagram. Swap phones. And look at what you guys are looking at. Swap up there. And see what that look like. And do it to other friends. And you don't have to base
put themselves out there.
I watch strippers.
If an upcoming artist,
I love watching dancers. I do. Like it's an art. I love it.
That's
constant.
Say it one more time.
I was saying
we gotta make just our last points though. Like you know what I'm saying.
I was saying up and coming artists or new artists are just so afraid to put themselves out there because of all of themselves. Themselves out there. Like what you supposed to do is this is your gift. Like you sing for.
People can point out to you too.
Oh, sure.
I'm sorry, I'm not the interruption. Go ahead.
No, it's fine. But they just need to be doing it. Stop thinking about it. Just do it. Fuck what everybody got to say. That's easy for me to say. By all means, I'm no artist or whatever. But man, if I could push all of them out there who got it, I promise you, I will push you off. Your number one biggest fan. I will cut for you.
There's too much.
So that being said, so can I get one point real quick?
And so bring it all around.
Yeah. So both of your points, right? I think like whatever your talent, you can be whatever type of person you are, whether you're extrovert, introvert, empath. If you're really talented in that particular field, right, then you deserve to have your talent seen or, engaged with however you want that talent to be engaged with. That being said, I think depending on the person you are, also depends on the kind of team you need. If you're like the kind of person who's like very much an extrovert, you don't need as big of a team because you're going to be your number one fan and you're going to be out there on the line, front line getting it. But if you're an introvert and you just know that's not your skills and ability, then you need a team of people around you, hyping you up, spicing you up, lighting your fire. Because you just know that's not your ability. My ability is painting. My ability is singing. My ability isn't necessarily speaking, right? Like Moses didn't speak. His right-hand man spoke. Isn't it? He parted the seas, feel me? And so, like, you really need a team around you that's going to be able to do that for you.
Yes, indeed.
Man, real talk, man. Hey, these have been beautiful points, man. Like, lovely discussion, man. I appreciate you guys, like, for indulging. I know I'm throwing out words, like, you know what I'm saying? They like, some throw words.
We don't know what it means.
You know what I'm saying? I'm trying, you know what I mean?
You're good.
But,
we can spell too.
Well,
I got a vocabulary, but I can't spell shit.
I can say Spanish words like a motherfucker.
I got Google and Alexa like a motherfucker.
But
I got these bitches on my phone.
Real quick though, so like one tip for upcoming artists. Like, there's no bad tip. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, just honest opinion. Like, what is something that you think, your opinion, that an artist could do to like kind of capsulate, you know, the crowd?
Audience interaction.
Audience interaction.
You gotta give them your energy.
Energy.
Yeah.
Okay. Bring energy when performing. You know what I'm saying? Like performing as well. Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. I'm sorry.
Become a good person before a great musician.
Be a good fucking person. Yeah. Check yourself, man. Like, man, a lot of motherfuckers need a mirror. Like, some motherfuckers need a mirror smacked over their face and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Tattoo.
You know what I mean? Like, for real.
You ain't get the
Some
shit.
may not even get that mirror.
It's like,
The music gonna reach one. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, you know.
I would say to just know that you were created to do that thing that you're doing. Just be true and know that that's who you were made. That's what you were made to do. Because a lot of people don't know that, and then just kind of do it because let's hunky dory with it, and don't go out and hone into it because they don't feel like they're good enough for it, basically. So if you know that that's your shit and you know that you're meant to do it, you'll pop with it better, you know. So
Who are you talking to?
Like,
Talking to
people
you.
can't build
What you
their
talking
life.
to yourself?
Yeah, like people can't build their own like journey. You know, people want to follow. You know, a lot of people want to follow, like they don't want to build.
Yeah.
Real talk.
They want a business, but they don't want to work and build it.
Right.
I got a business.
Yeah, right. What's the point though? Like, you know, that you think that
It's hard to narrow it down or whatever. I guess because I'm such a
just as a fan, like, I mean, as a spectator, like, you know what I mean, as somebody who
just do it.
just do it,
Just like do
Yeah.
it. Because if you don't do it, you wouldn't know about it.
What was the
You
point,
know,
right?
like what's the point?
Yeah.
Okay, so you just doing it all this in the bag. No one gonna ever hear it. It's just for you. Oh, okay. You gonna be selfish with your gift like that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Preach that.
But you understand what I'm
I
saying?
did. I
You gonna be
felt
selfish?
that.
No, you're not
Okay.
supposed to be selfish
Yeah.
with that gift.
It's
So
not
it's
even
supposed
yours.
to be, even if I promise you, even if it takes 99 years for that person to get up on that stage one time, I promise you, somebody gonna hear it and take it and run with it for the rest of their life. And that's y'all, come on, hear me now. I'm just saying, that's just what it's supposed to be. If it took 70 years, all that experience or whatever to come out in one fucking song.
Then that's what it was meant
Hey
to
man,
be.
hey, I be telling people like, yo, why you holding on to that, bro? That's just dope. Like, yo, like I will play it on the podcast. That shit is hot, man. Like, you know, 4 months later, like, you know what I'm saying, come out like, you know, and it's cool. It's still dope,
Yeah.
you know, but it's just like,
A different era now.
oh yeah, man, the hype is just
Shit changes so fast.
It's just like, you know, and it may be just my opinion, you know what I'm saying? Maybe people like are ready for it now. Like,
You got
know what I'm
authority,
saying?
so
And
your
I'm just
opinion
like,
matters.
You gotta
Yeah,
get
you know what I mean?
on the money.
So, yeah. So, well, man,
I would say consistency. Like, I would say, you know, just kind of even follow up on that. A lot of people, you know, no matter what your craft is, in order to master it, it's going to take time. Some people get it quick, some people it takes a while, but the more consistent you are with it, even if it's like times where, you know, it's low or times where it's high, keep on doing it. Everybody knows that bad rapper that was, you know, 5 years ago, they were Dookie. And then now, all of a sudden, they nice. And you like, how'd that happen? And like, because they kept on doing it day after day after day. Eventually, you know, the dam broke.
Those are the stories I love. Those are stories I love.
Exactly.
Liz
So-
knows that story right now. Like, literally, she wrote all her hits years ago. And she's just now making #1 on multiple songs. And motherfuckers, she was paying like this.
well, I mean, that kind of happens a lot though, like in the industry.
Yeah.
Like,
The momentum.
motherfuckers like songs be like out for like a year or so, and then really like catch fire. Like,
Euthanize.
Think about
Hey.
it. I mean, if it's your art for real, even if you never catch, if you're consistent with it, you love it anyway, so you're still getting something out of it. And so,
Doesn't matter when it comes.
exactly.
But shit,
Don't
you
have to
have
be
fans
famous
for you.
either.
Like, look at India Arie. That she's still making music to this day, putting out albums. Her fans are her fans.
I give her a
Obviously.
dollar. Pause.
$100.
I support her.
Dang.
Nah, you know.
But
I support women's rights and all
that's
that.
a whole
You know
dog.
what I'm saying? Like, you know, I'm just saying, I'll buy her album.
If you come home after work every day,
I give her $1.
No Weinstein.
You
Just like,
$1.
Queen.
What's one tip though you got for like an upcoming artist?
Do you and just give it your all at all times. Yeah, just work hard. And if you got it, you got it. But work hard. And even if you don't got it, you can get it.
Yeah, you
That's
can
a
work
good
at
thing.
it. You can literally
You can
like
become
teach
a
yourself to like do something. Like people don't understand that. It's like they be giving up so quick. I agree so much.
You can be what you want to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Coffee. One tip.
I'd have to definitely say knowing that your craft or your talent or your passion is not for you. And I think that's something that I really had to hold hard to my heart, and knowing that this talent that I have isn't for me. So coming forth with any type of judgment isn't going to do anything but hold me back from this mission of sharing this talent.
Girl.
She talking.
That was really nice.
And that goes for everybody, you know?
That's
And
my
a
core
punch,
belief.
like a left
That's my
hook.
core. The moment you think you own your gift, you lose it.
It is not ours. It is not for us.
The moment you think you own, it's gone.
Yeah.
That's the AC go right there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's me. You lost.
Yeah.
I can testify to that, for sure.
What about you?
Me? Did you already give a tip? Yeah. Me? My tip? It's like, I agree with everybody. Like, y'all kind of made all my points, man. It's like, always like, be original and don't be afraid. Like, fear is like, the number one, the number one, I don't want to say adversary, I'm throwing out words.
Inhibitor. Killer.
Killer. Yeah, thank y'all. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's that person. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, come on,
so it's like, you can't. There's so many obstacles that can come about. Like, you know what I mean? Not wanting to share it so much, not being prepared to like perform. Like, the procrastination of like, not actually. Yeah, you gotta realize it ain't yours. Like, you just like put it out there and like, put forth. Like, you know what I'm saying? And just like, get over this procrastination. I would say that. I think that's my
That's a good.
In whatever way that looks like. In whatever way that looks
like.
like.
You know what I'm saying? Try to fight back. I suffer from it. Like,
Yeah.
But it's just like,
that's why we can talk about it, because we've been through it.
Yeah.
And
you gotta recognize it.
Identify with.
Try to fight.
Don't try, because if you try, you give yourself opportunity to
try
fail.
to defeat
So that's why I
them.
said
Try to
the Nike
defeat
thing
them.
is the mantra. Just do it. Fuck a try.
Do it. Try to defeat
And if
them
you
word.
if you do it and you fail, then fuck it, you do it again. But if you try to do it, you give yourself the opportunity to fail. So
Try to defeat them word.
it's so negative. It's so
I
negative.
hate that
Word.
fucking word.
It's
I
so
hate
negative.
that word.
Spread that shit.
I hate try.
It's so
natural.
Everything is
humbling.
Most people, I'm gonna try to do this. Well, why? Why you gonna try?
I'm
I'm gonna try to open up. Why you gonna try to do it?
Because like, all right, you know why?
Talk about it.
I think I'm so like, I guess, apologetic is because sometimes I don't know. I be feeling like I can outdo like certain people, and like when people try to make it competitive, I don't like to really make things competitive.
But you're naturally competitive.
I'm naturally competitive, and I can naturally do a lot of things. So it's like,
You gotta.
I'm very polite because I grew up like, in a certain, like,
discipline,
I guess, So it's like, and when people like, I'm like, yo, I could try that. You know what I'm saying? It's just like it naturally just flows. So
That's also respect, bro.
But it's like,
That's also coming with
so.
respect.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like,
Compassion.
You sit back enough to listen.
Yeah.
Then you have the words to regurgitate or to replant onto somebody else. Some plant, some water, but God gives the increase.
Yeah.
So just know where you sitting at in a little trolley.
Different perspectives, different ways of building character. You sit up there and you say, I know I can do better than that, which is fine. And then let's say you do better.
Oh, yeah.
But for that person, whoever you did better than, they're like, damn, I was nice. I'm gonna take my L today. That's all right.
Yeah, because you gotta know.
But that was you was
Some
supposed
people
to take your L.
some people don't
No,
get
salty.
Look, in my head, look at home.
Take that L
For
serious.
2
Take that
years.
L.
But in that 2 years, man, he was
Take it way too
You know-
you know what I'm saying? He was going through some things. So yeah. But I bet when you get back on that stage 2 years later,
Cold. He gonna outdo
coming
you.
back
You
with
gonna outdo
something.
you.
You learn
I mean, my
something
friends, I
from
do
it.
each other all the time.
That's a hunger.
You supposed to pass me up. I don't want to be the best person in the group. That mean I ain't
Better
learning
than
that.
me.
So
And
you don't have anybody to stimulate you to do better.
Yeah,
Exactly.
that
You supposed to
experience.
exchange that.
Exactly.
Like,
That exchange can look like so many different
if you
things.
feel like you're the best person in your group, lead that group.
You suck. Yeah.
Yo,
You gotta
yo,
You supposed to be
man,
inspired.
You
gotta roll.
I gotta hit.
That's why, like, a lot of people won't. I say
Bring
this all the
better
time,
people in or move.
A lot of people won't willingly be my friend because I'm gonna hold you accountable to be better than me.
Yeah.
Can you say that one more time?
A lot of people won't willingly be my friend. They won't
Yeah.
walk in my life like I want to be your friend because I'm gonna hold you accountable.
Thank
Like you can say I want to lose weight,
And people
in 2
talk
weeks,
shit,
if you
and they're
ain't
not
lose-
gonna do it.
Exactly. And something I heard today that was very powerful.
I
To me.
talk
There's like
shit.
there's 2 types of fears. There's face everything and recover, or forget everything and run.
And false
So,
evidence preparing.
One of them could be beneficial to you, and the other one could be harmful. If you're not willing to face everything and recover, you're gonna deal with it again. You're just gonna run away.
Yeah.
You know,
It's a
like,
cycle.
Keep hitting the fucking wall.
It's a cycle.
that accountability is one of your strongest.
That was a good one.
Strongest
Yeah,
relationship.
Thumbs up, you know what I'm saying?
One of the strongest
Man,
relationships
y'all
you
dropping
have.
points, man. I don't even want to wrap it up, man, but damn.
Don't, man. We let it go. Let it go.
I know, man. Yo, yeah, we gonna have like a little aftertape or something, man. But yeah, man. Like,
I
I'm
think.
trying to remember it
I
right
think-
now in my head.
I know. I don't want to do too much on time. I just
Yeah,
think
like-
I think it's like we all made some beautiful points today, and like the thing is like I think the hardest part about being a leader, and all of us in this room, I can feel the energy of leaders, is that our gift in life probably isn't for us to be at the forefront, but it's to serve other people for them to be leaders.
Exactly.
Like being a leader don't mean you're gonna be in the front. It just means you're gonna make other people leaders.
That's a journey.
Like,
Because in the pack, when
People
when
don't-
the Huskies run in the pack, the leader leads in the back.
Look,
Yeah.
that's
And,
That's how the Navy does.
The leaders
Good
lead
you
Ooh,
said
I can
that.
touch on that. That's
Well, we could rap all
We all
night.
can talk for a long time.
That's that one right there.
Let's wrap this up real quick, cause like I
The
think
Navy
people
leads
won't
like
see,
that.
man, but like I feel like that should be something else for
You said
the people,
Navy
man.
like
Like,
that?
I think we gave them enough, you know what I mean? So, hey, let's go ahead and say our last goodbyes and like last words, you know, for the people, you know what I'm saying? So,
Alright.
you know what I mean? Yeah, y'all got any words for the people, you know what I mean, before we get out of here?
Stay faithful.
Stay true.
That's
Stay
your
rising.
Is your paper.
Yeah.
RTG. RTG. You know what I'm saying? Real true gangsters, man.
Yeah.
I'm saying.
Plug it up.
Get your bread, bro. Get your bread.
Bang,
Yeah.
bang, bang, bang.
Get your bread.
He's so adorable.
Weaponize your
He's
love.
3 years older than Dominic.
Man, hey, thank y'all again, man.
Starving artists.
Thank y'all
3
again
years
for wrapping
older.
up with your boy. Just rolling with the Rolling Stoner, man. Thanksgiving special, man.
Hey,
Shanana.
reach one to
Thank y'all.
Thank you for
again,
being
man.
here.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank y'all
y'all
for
presents.
elevating, man. It was a very elevated conversation, man. That was like, one that touched
To me.
my soul. You know what I'm saying?
That's what it's supposed to do.
Oh, yeah. But
Touch my
man.
soul like the food, dude.
Yeah.
That's what it's supposed to do.
That's that real soul food.
Get up out of here, man. Yo, you guys be safe, man, on the weekend. We know what it is. We know they out there, like, you know what I'm saying, right behind you and shit. Yo, be safe, yo.
Do the speed limit. It's the holiday. Them tickets ain't no joke.
Turkey, you feel me? Protect that turkey.
Yo.
Protect the turkey.
Right.
What?
We up out of here. Y'all be easy, be safe.
Figure out
Shalom.
Uber. You don't have to do it. I don't have that shit on my phone.
Francisco. Kids who get higher, search for the fire, burn with desire, die to inspire, uprising now. Kids who get higher, search for the fire, burn with desire, die to inspire, uprising now.
Kids who get high.
Higher, higher, higher.